Hey guys, Brian from Progressive Force Concepts here with a new holster for you guys, a holster review. This is from our good friends over at High Threat Concealment. Everybody knows how much we believe in the High Threat Concealment products. We stand by them, we use them, we offer them for sale, we use them inside of our ballistic off-body bag. I have an old school High Threat Concealment holster that the guys over there have tried to get me to quit using because of how much their product line has evolved over time with vacuum forming and new materials that are bigger, better, beyond Kydex, and I still liked it. But after running this new guy right here, I think I may retire it or dip it in bronze and put it up on the bookshelf. So this is pretty cool. This is what's called the Evo system, and what they've done is by adding a boatload of additional rivets and holes on both the left and the right hand side, as well as these guys up on the front, they've made this does-it-all type holster. If you want to run it straight cant, if you want to run it angled cant, if you want to run it inside the waistband, if you want to run it outside the waistband, if you want to run it appendix style, if you have a 1.75 inch belt, if you have a 1.5 inch belt, any one of those things will take and work with this, which is great, particularly if you work in either plainclothes, undercover, low visibility role, protective services, anything along those lines, and maybe from Monday to Friday you're sort of switching your orientation and how you're set up. This little notch that's right up here on the front is only because I have this proprietary slide stop on my Glock 17 or my V17 from Valkyrie Combat, and I had to buff that out. But I took and I set this thing up in all the different configurations and ran it to give them a try. Some of which I prefer, some of which I don't. But it does exceptionally solid in that. We also took and then ran it through our typical gauntlet that we do when we have any new product that we want to see how it performs under physical tasks and exertion. We're throwing some sandbags around. We're running, doing sprints with it, muscle ups and 180-degree flips, rope climbs, and the like, and it performed exceptionally well. It's also very, very comfortable. One of the things you'll notice with a lot of modern Kydex holsters is that in recent years, this wider, more sort of rectangular footprint has come into favor, and earlier generation HTC holsters were no exception to that. I had some Kydex holsters probably 10, 12 years ago, and many of them were very, very narrow, where the attachment points were actually behind where the frame or the slide of the pistol would be. And there's this sort of Goldilocks thing that happens with the holster, wherein if the holster is exceptionally wide, it's good and it stops forward rocking and rearward rocking of the gun and that sort of thing. But we also get a problem because then it becomes too big. It takes up too much of a footprint on the belt. It prints too heavily. It can become uncomfortable pushing on hip bones. So again, somewhere in the middle is the happy place, and I think they've done it with this. I think they've found it. It interfaces. It works with our ballistic off-body bag with the bob as well, and I'm a believer. I'll put their contact information down in the comments. Again, it's High Threat Concealment or HTC. They're also the makers of that absolutely innovative, comprehensive, low visibility tactical belt system that involves carbine pouches, trauma pouches, radio pouches, all those things that's worn under a concealment garment by a lot of the governmental and private security teams, contracting teams overseas. Again, High Threat Concealment, we can't say enough good stuff about them. Just remember that one of the few things we can actually control in the fight is the equipment that we bring to the fight, and good equipment isn't cheap, and cheap equipment isn't good. Stay safe.